Oh, I don't know. As a scientist, I just wish I could appreciate more things like cabins, bicycles.
Oh, it's you, the stupid one.
I certainly hope someone needs a forest ranger here sometime.
Hello, I'm Dr. Roger Fleming, and I seem to have lost my way.
I have risen.
What you just watched were a few scenes from the movie The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra, an old indie film from 2001. I think I've been fairly outspoken about my love for indie video games, but that love extends to not only video games, but also movies and indie animation. And if I'm being quite candid, this film was very foundational to who I am and my humor as an adult. I happen to have discovered this film when I was quite young, probably much younger than its intended audience to be fair, but that being said, it still resonated with me because its style of humor was easy to understand, easy to digest, but beyond the surface level, it has more going for it.
There's a lot in what you say, Betty. In many ways, it's hard to be a scientist's wife, the wife of a scientist. And yet in other ways, it's good. Really good.
You always know the right thing to say.
Redundancy. Exceeding what is necessary or normal. Superfluous. Characterized by containing an excess, specifically using more words than necessary. Characterized by similarity or repetition. From Merriam-Webster. Dictionary, that is to say a book containing many words and their definitions. One could say possibly, maybe all words and what they mean. This is what the dialogue of the film is like. Its redundant nature serving to elevate its writing's purposeful camp. And having rewatched this movie to write this video, I was surprised at how well the dialogue still stands up. However, there are still some problems with it, in my opinion. About 2/3 of the way through, the scenes start to drag a bit, but it does pick up in the climax of the third act and kind of nails the landing in terms of a 1950s film, which was what they were trying to go for.
I'll seem suspicious if I come alone. I know.
Those forest animals standing right there have given me an idea. I watched the aliens work this thing. Maybe if I make myself a date.
Speaking of they, who is they that made this film? It was created, directed, and in some parts acted by a guy called Larry Balmerier. And by no means this is not his only entry into cinema. His IMDb is extensive. And not to glaze, but I'm going to totally glaze him right now, he's also done a lot of other creative artworks that go beyond cinema itself. He does graphic novels, he does non-graphic novels, and he's written plays before. I mean, it's kind of cool that his current project he's working on right now is a steampunk setting graphic novel that he's now trying to turn into what I think is going to be a tabletop RPG. He said RPG, but I think it's going to be a tabletop because of the website kind of looks like it. But I mean, he said RPG, and I think it's awesome that he's extending into what I would consider to be more of the realm that I participate in more often. And it's called Steam Wars. It's not the first one that comes up on Google because that's something else, but you'd have to search Steam Wars Larry Balmerier, and it comes up. I just checked. I mean, it definitely looks interesting, although I'm more of a diesel punk kind of guy myself. So when I started researching this for this video, I didn't know that his resume, so to speak, was as extensive as it was. And I have to give a big shout out to Radio of Horror here. Coincidentally, 3 months ago, he happened to do an interview with Larry Balmerier, and I was lucky enough to have come across it in my research. So if you have a little bit of time and you're interested in the topic, maybe I've gotten you interested, go watch that interview. It's actually fascinating to listen to the story of this man's career, or at least I found it fascinating.
You're against me, aren't you? Of course you are.
All skeletons are against me. They always have been. Even when I was a child, I was hated by skeletons.
So, funnily enough, I actually watched this movie when it came out direct to DVD. I saw the trailer for it hidden in the special features of the collection of thumb-related media done by none other than Steve Odekirk, which is a completely different rabbit hole. But just to give you an idea, he's the guy who wrote things like Bruce Almighty, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, did The Nutty Professor, and also made cartoons like The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron and Barnyard and The Barnyard Show that was on Nickelodeon. I know, crazy world that we live in. But yeah, end of the day, I highly suggest going to watch this movie. It's really funny. It continues to make me laugh. I don't normally watch films a second time. I've watched this at least 5 times in my life. That should tell you how much I like it.
But how? How will I find it?
That is for you to know. That's not my problem. I sleep now.
And you can watch it right here on YouTube. When I originally started doing this video, it was free with ads, but recently it became buy or rent, which I find to be very sad because I would have loved to have followed this video with, and you can go watch it right now for free. But unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. So I'm hoping that maybe you can find some way to watch it free or find it somewhere else, or I mean, even spend the $3.99 to watch it. I mean, I would consider it worth it, but if you don't have $3.99 laying around, I don't blame you for not wanting to rent the video. Who knows, maybe a watch along is in the cards sometime down the way. I literally went out and got a DVD drive for my PC so that I can clip parts of the film. So, I mean, I've got it forever since I own it physically. So maybe it is, I don't know. If there's interest in it, let me know. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing a watch along for it. I always love watching this movie. I will never shy away from the fact to share it with anybody. But yeah, I hope that you found this interesting. I hope that you found it funny. And I hope I maybe have convinced you to see some form of indie cinema that, like I said, I think is pretty cool. Anyways, have a good one.